Well, I got me some adorable knives sitting here on the table. Just kind of came in a little bit earlier today, so I figured I'd take a look at them. I did unbox them, but I haven't really done much with them at all. This is from Essie. This is the Churp with a U, C-H-U-R-P. I got two variants of it. This one's olive micarta, and that micarta reminds me a lot of Civivi's micarta, so kind of middle of the road. Not too bad. Whatever. It's got a fairly high polish on it, so not an incredible amount of texture to it, but it's nice. And then we got the G10 carbon fiber kind of thing. At least I'm pretty sure that it is. So these things are a little weird. Yep, you do have a nail neck here to pull it out, and that feels like it's on bearings. I haven't taken them apart, but that feels very smooth and bearing-like to me. I don't know. I suppose we can probably find that out. But yeah, these are there we go. Yeah, just Essie stuff here. And it looks like this is actually a rat sort of sectioned off sort of thing here. Yeah, and that's the model number on that, the BRK Churp. D2 steel, which is neat. This guy right here is literally 20 bucks, which is, for a D2 folder that's locking, not too bad. We got a pocket clip that you can have tip up or tip down. Interesting that it kind of widens out there a little bit, but, you know, people can probably try to use that as a money clip or something like that. So the thing that's weird about it is the liner lock here, and that reminds me of kind of a lock that Case used or uses a little bit from time to time that sticks out fairly proud. And it also kind of reminds me of the one that Swiss Army uses, but there's actually you push over to the right to unlock the blade. But we have enough room in the front there to choke up in front of that little bump sort of thing. No problems there. And yeah, I don't really feel like that thing's going to be super easy to accidentally unlock the blade. It is still a lot more proud than I think is probably necessary, so I might try to take one of those down a little bit just to play around with it. Hey, they're stupid cheap, so why not? Got some pillar construction here. Something I did notice is the tip is very close to the top here. Like, I mean, if you really do dig your finger in there, you can grab onto the tip of that blade. I suppose if this was just had the tip just a little bit lower or whatnot, that probably wouldn't be all that much of an issue. But if you do end up messing that tip up and sharpening it a couple of times, that might be a problem. Not exactly super great. So there is definitely that. And the carbon fiber one is basically the same sort of thing kind of going on here. Yep, it is probably just a little bit thicker. No, the scales look about the same. Okay. So I can do some measurements going on here. Let's go ahead and check out the weights here. I'm assuming not a whole lot. Yeah, 2.15 or so ounces, 61 grams. Carbon fiber one's going to be a little bit more, barely, 62 grams. And let's see, it's got a respectable blade on there. It's, yeah, probably 2.7 inches after that whole compensation thing there. Plunge grind comes right down to it, but the blade does stick down, so you got a couple of sharpenings before you get any kind of smirk forming on your knives there. This thing is super nice and smooth in and out of the pocket. It really does kind of remind me of some of Spyderco's Hourglass sort of things. Very nice, though. I do appreciate that. Probably doesn't need to be quite as wide as that, like I had mentioned earlier, but, you know, people might want to use it for a money clip or something like that. Or especially the snazzy G10 carbon fiber sort of thing. All right, so I do want to take a look on the inside of this thing because I think this thing, it feels like it's got bearings to me. And it's going to be T6. Okay. There's definitely some Loctite in that screw. Come on, buddy. And in that one. Is it still T6? No, it's T8 for the pivot. Okay. I don't feel I need to take the pocket clip off because it's not attached to anything but the liners. What's going on, buddy? Okay, I do see it free spinning, so... That's what the Gorilla Grip's for. As long as I can actually keep it in the damn hole. Ain't nobody like a sloppy hole. Does this... Yeah, it does graduate up to T9. Let me see if possibly that is a T9 there. Yeah, that actually feels like a T9. Well, I do have a T9. It'll just be, you know, in this big old thing. Alright, that's T7, T8. No, T9 was just right there. But unfortunately, it uses the larger driver. So, all right. This is a little bit more time than I was expecting to take trying to get this thing apart. But I suppose that's okay. It feels like it's working. Okay. Well, yeah, it does have those little tiny steel bearings and those black cages rather than the white and nylon ones that you see sometimes. I lost a screw down below. I just felt it bounce off my leg a second ago. Yeah, not too bad. Wouldn't mind seeing some skeletonization on the handles. But, hey, I mean, it's fairly light as it is. And super cheap. So, yeah, that's probably not going to happen for that price point. Alright, I will put that together in a little bit. I've wasted a bit too much time doing that. I do have one other knife here, and this one is another one of those 6-leaf guys. This is the SL07. Again, just like everything else, this is a rattlesnake design. This is in natural micarta. well after the fact that I purchased this. They do also have an olive green micarta version, but most of them are in D2 now, and this one's not. It's in M Thrizzle 90. And I do have to say, I did sharpen these things. It's about the only thing that I've done since I pulled them out of the box. And, well, for one, these things were definitely set at about 17 degrees for their edge. So these things are fairly darn sharp out of the box. They're going to be a little bit better now because I like my edges, but that's okay. This one was probably a little bit more like 18 or something like that. Now, I've brought it down to 15, but that's so far with the kin onion with the blade grinder attachment. So I will kind of put a little bit more of a V-shaped edge on there. But something that actually does kind of interest me is this has a very nice smooth sandblast or bead blast finish. So it's something that's not satin and not stonewash. So, I mean, well, it's a little bit different, so I kind of like that. It's about average behind the edge there, so you do have a lot of structural stability going on with it. It's not going to be a laser beam, but at the same time, it's definitely capable, there we go, of doing some nice slicing. Blade stock on this is a little bit thicker. Seems to happen with a lot of kind of larger slip joints. I generally don't like to make them super crazy thin for whatever particular reason. But this one's still not too bad. It's basically like 3.2 or 3.25 millimeters. So that's not too bad. This one, I do kind of wish that the liners on here were skeletonized. I mean, micarta can definitely support some of that sort of stuff. This does have a little bit of a heft to it. Let's see. Let's grab this. Let's grab a flashlight that works. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it's got a blade stop pin under there, so you don't really have to worry about blade wrap happening. And yeah, nice and protected all the way around. So that's pretty cool. It does have a deep nail nick, so you only have it on that one side, which isn't, you know, exactly my favorite sort of things for those, but that's all right. The pull and everything on this, I'd say it's probably about a 7.5. It's pretty darn good. The walk and talk on it's quite nice. Does look, if I shine a light down in there, like we do have bronze washers going on in there. I don't think the camera will probably see that, but I can kind of see a little bit of a glint there of some orangish kind of metal, so I'm assuming that's bronze. It could be brass, I don't know, but either way, it's not plastic or nylon, so that's nice. Micarta here does have a bit of texture to it. That's nice. And really aggressive kind of lines that are running that way on the top of it. Not exactly the easiest thing to see in the pictures for them, but very much noticeable and whatnot. But because it's micarta, this will probably end up wearing down just a little bit over time. By the way, it's a fairly nice knife, all things considered. I don't really have many complaints on it, other than, you know, I would like to see some skeletonized liners, possibly even thinner liners, because those are some thick boy liners for a slip joint. You know, I'm definitely nowhere near an expert in a lot of slip joints and other traditional kind of knives and whatnot. But yeah, I don't really think they need liners that thick. But I suppose I can go ahead and check some stats on this guy too. Yeah, 3.3-ish ounces, 95 grams. A little bit heavier than these guys, that's for sure. But yeah, the blade stock is much thicker at 3.2. Oh, what is the blade stock thickness on these guys? Can I grab that? Yeah. 2.25 looks like. Yeah, these things are nice and slicey. Something that I did want to demonstrate, but I guess I'm not going to, since this one isn't put back together, is this one, the detent is a little strong on, but you can see this little kind of notch here. Now, I have been able to, on this one, where the liner isn't quite as strong, I can front flip the thing. It'll probably be a little bit more successful once I clean out the bearings and, you know, put my own stuff in there. But this one, not a chance. The detent on it is too strong, just holds it in there, so I can't get it started no matter what I do. But depending on, you know, the liner strength and whatnot out of the box, then it's possible to front flip those guys. So that's kind of interesting. But all right. Well, I guess the only other thing I really want to see is blade length on this, and shy of 3 inches. So that's pretty good for being able to carry it in most places around the world that will allow you to have an edged tool whatsoever. So it's actually pretty darn nice. I do like it quite a bit. A heck of a lot more than that itty bitty little thing that I got that was all crushed. That one's kind of jank, but it also had a jank price, and this one's a little bit more. I think I got a hold of it for around 51, which, I mean, let's be honest, this is kind of a newer company making something in M390, so that's a little bit of a gamble there. I had actually quite a few passes that I had to make to actually get this thing to sharpen up correctly, and it did form a burr on it, but it's very, very fine burr no matter what I did, which is what I've experienced with most other M390. So as far as just that little kind of characteristic, I can at least believe them that this actually is M390, and they're not just throwing some other crap out at you like D2 and just putting a different stamp on it. But I do plan on doing a cut test with this guy, just because I'm curious on how it ends up holding up. Should be pretty interesting. Seems decently comfortable for doing some of that sort of stuff. So we'll give it a shot. Yeah. All right. Well, this was fun. This is probably the last video that I'm going to be filming with this, as I have a new phone coming to me. In just a couple of days on Monday. I'm filming this on a Saturday. So that should be fun. This right here is an iPhone 8 Plus, and I'm going to the iPhone 13 Pro Max, which that was expensive because I don't necessarily like to just have my cell phone bill jacked up through the roof forever, so I just buy my phones outright. And yeah, it was probably around $1,500. It wasn't cheap. So I do hope that it does have some nice advancements. I have noticed that I'm probably going to end up changing my backdrop here. Yeah, I do love my Totoro and all that sort of stuff, but I do kind of want to have a little bit more of a wood grain kind of thing. And I do have one, but this phone goes absolutely berserk with the white balance on it when I actually have, you know, hands and knives on it. So the new phone, I will be able to lock the exposure so it won't be doing some crazy stuff, but it will still have the nice autofocus kind of stuff like this one does. So that should be fun. All right, we'll see how all that stuff ends up playing out. But as always, I appreciate y'all for watching. Have yourself a wonderful rest of your day, yo. And subscribe, please.